Hey guys, welcome to Post Market Report. As you can see, I have Nifty start here. Open, very flat, but then after a little bit of rally for about 2 minutes, we saw a huge downside momentum in Nifty. And not just Nifty, overall any index, be it Sensex, Bank Nifty, and every other stock. So the main reason for such a huge fall, I'll explain later in the video. And here I also have a daily chart, as you can see on the screen. Now we have noticed certain levels over the past 4 to 5 days, trying to know with some sort of technical analysis on resistance and supports, but market has not respected any of that, right? Because market is either opening with very huge gap downs or it's just going down. It's not hitting up any resistance at all. And now any resistance and support that we draw in a 15 minutes time frame might not make sense. So here I have a daily chart to get a bigger picture of what is happening. So here obviously we can notice market made a head and shoulder pattern, a very bearish pattern, and now clearly it is again coming back to that support zone. So this is the only thing that matters. So clearly this is a pretty big gap over here. Might not travel in the in just a one matter of one trading day session on Monday. So clearly it might take a couple of trading sessions to reach that point. So until it reaches a point, particularly especially for me as a trader, it's not at all no other level is of further importance to me. Right? That's how I am looking at Nifty. And next to Bank Nifty as well, very same scenario, opens with almost flat opening and then a huge fall in the market. So even here, anything we draw on support or resistance 15 minutes time frame or any shorter time frame will not make any sense. That is because if I just zoom in to this chart, I have the weekly time frame, and here there are two things that I want to do. Basically, take a note of. That is one, the trend line that is coming in on a weekly time frame where we saw a very comfortable support in the last couple of months. So again, market is coming back to that exact level. So I want you guys to open up your Bank Nifty charts on a weekly time frame and try to maybe draw this particular trend line and make sense of it. So it will take a few days for the market to reach this particular point, but this is the only support or a key level that matters as well. As you can see, these are the levels that I just drew in the last couple of videos as well. But clearly, market is not at all moving upwards to hit any of those key major levels. So now the only thing matters is the long-term trend line that we see. And also want to take a look at the technical pattern that it is making, a clear inside candle pattern for the last 4 weeks. And now on the Friday session today, we notice a huge breakdown of that inside candle. So this is clearly a very negative sign. Now, if we look at the reason why market is so bearish, right, that is has something to do with FIIs, that is foreign institutional investors. Now, even in my weekly, email newsletters as well, I had mentioned how FIIs have finally turned in net buyers. That means they had gone from selling about 1.5 lakh crores to finally being 5 to 6,000 crores positive net buyers. But now in the last 4 days of this session, that is in the last 4 days, it has completely wiped off all the buying position that that made. They've sold off about 12,300 crores in just a matter of 4 days. That's a huge number. So billions of dollars being withdrawn from all the emerging markets and being put back into US markets. That's what we see every year during December. But this year it's a bit more aggressive, and it has something to do with maybe the Trump's stance on the US government and his stance on how their 10-year gold bonds will perform. So clearly, that has a very high impact on emerging markets like India, and we can certainly see that in the numbers. And like you can also see how just in the last 4 trading sessions, the 12,000 crore just wiped off the entire net purchase of the FII. So here on the left hand side, you can see FII. On the right hand side, we can see DII. And clearly, DIIs have been buying about 16,000 crores. But on the other hand, we see FIIs selling at every chance they get. So clearly, this is a bearish news for even domestic investors. So clearly, market in its entirety has turned a bit bearish. So next up, we have RBL Bank, which actually also tanked about 7%. And this is actually the 7th day that this particular bank has been extending its losing streak, and also it's trading at very high volumes, and there's no clear news as to why this is happening. So maybe you can expect a particular news from RBL Bank in coming days. We can see by looking at the chart, it was a fairly sideways market, but now the last few sessions, even with high volume spikes, RBL is coming down. And next up we have Siemens. It's actually down by 9% today. And the reason is basically, whenever we use the listed companies like Siemens or any other company in the stock market, if they have some sort of analysis on, basically it could be a revenue driven growth or a revenue driven loss. If they anticipate that, they have to mandatorily have, as per SEBI, come and hold a news conference and tell that to the investors. So that's basically what's happening in case of Siemens as well. So they expect that in private capital expenditure, they're not getting that exact momentum that they're hoping for. So clearly, they have come down and they have informed the investors that there will be a stagnant growth in private capex, which is clearly going to affect companies' quarterly results in the coming third quarter. So clearly, stock is down by 9%. We see this happening again and again in many stocks, as you can see, with very high volumes as well. Next up, we have general insurance, which actually went up by 16%. Again, we do not have a proper news, but then the whole insurance sector has been in a buzz for about last uh, at least 3 to 4 weeks. Especially IRDI came up with a lot of capex rules on these insurance companies emerging from their banking counterpart, and then there's LIC, the biggest insurance company out there, which is not at all dependent on its banking counterpart. So there were some news about general insurance and all these. So clearly, there's a very lot of unconfirmed news, which is surging a huge amount of the stock with very high volume. So we'll be able to maybe hear some sort of a news related to general insurance in the coming days. So next up, we have Zodiac Energy. The stock went up and hit an upper circuit today because they have some sort of order worth $700,000 from some international company. It's basically an MOU, okay, memorandum of undertaking for some African countries. So clearly, great news for the company. Stock has gone up by and hit an upper circuit. Also, if you have NTBCL shares, this is a very unique share. Basically stands for Noida Toll Bridge Company. So all that these people do is they put up toll booths on all the highways. They build the highways and they put up toll booths. And this is one of the most unique companies out there in the listed market because there are no competitors for this particular stock. And today it's down by it has hit a lower circuit mainly because they have this Delhi Noida flyway where they're collecting a lot of tolls, and Supreme Court says what, you can't collect more from there anymore. So clearly a bad news for the company that revenues will go down. Clearly you can see the impact in the stock as well. As you can see, opened with a flat opening and then a sudden fall and lower circuit. Next up, we have KPI Green Energy, which actually went up by 1% because again they have signed an MOU. MOU means Memorandum of Understanding with the Rajasthan government, and along with that they are also issuing a bonus share. So bonus share is of the ratio 1:2. That means for every one share you hold, you get two. But that does not mean you'll basically double your money. That's not how bonus share works. If you want to know how that works, I've made a lot of courses on the website, so just go enroll for free and maybe get an understanding of what bonus shares or what right shares mean in the stock market.